Hey guys, and welcome back to Oh My Goth Fitness, fueled by coffee and coached by code. This is Figure Prep with ChatGPT. All right, start of week 5, and we are about to check in with Coach Alfred. Hey Coach, today is check-in day. Going to give you my new stats. I did not drop any weight this week. I'm still holding steady at 155 pounds. Energy is good, sleep is good, mood is good, gym performance is still good, still hitting some PRs. And I will share my check-in photos also, but we'll get your first take on changing any macros or cardio requirements for this week if we're going to do so.
Hello everyone, Coach Alfred here. For week 5 of prep, Lady McCune's macronutrient breakdown is set at 165 grams of protein, 59 grams of fat, and 177 grams of carbohydrates, totaling approximately 1,899 calories per day. She's continuing with her progressive overload weightlifting routine 5 times a week and has increased her daily cardio to 35 minutes per session to keep the fat loss on track. Her energy levels are solid and hunger is minimal, which is a great sign that her body is adapting well. We'll continue to monitor her progress and make adjustments as needed to ensure she's on target for her competition. Stay tuned for more updates, and thanks for following along.
All right, so there you go. We have a slight deficit. Let me go ahead and put that in my macro app. Okay, so just going to adjust my strategy here. So you said 1899, and then okay. All right. So I've got that adjusted and we are good to go. So again, for my training, as usual, I will try to push as hard as I can in the gym. If I can make some PRs, I might start showing those maybe. I don't know if it's interesting. I'll see how many I can hit this week, or at least hit my previous numbers so that I'm not losing strength. I know I won't necessarily be able to keep it all during the entire duration of the prep. That's just the nature of the beast, but we're trying to keep it as long as we can to preserve as much muscle as we can. Because again, keeping the training up, keeping the protein up, keeps the muscle on the body, which is what we want, because we want to prioritize fat loss over muscle loss. So gonna keep going with that. And I'll see you in the gym for some training clips. Let's go. Okay, so let's go ahead and also ask Coach Alfred, based on my check-in photos that will be displayed here, what I need to do for this coming week. Hey there, Alfred. What is your overall coach's assessment based on my week 5 progress pictures?
Hello again, Lady McCune. Let's dive into your week 5 progress. Overall, you're looking fantastic and right on track. Here are some key points. First, your upper body definition, particularly in your delts and arms, is improving nicely. Your shoulders are showing more width and separation, which is great for that figure look. Keep focusing on those lateral raises and overhead presses to enhance that cap. Next, your waist is looking tighter and more defined, which is fantastic progress. Continue your core work 3 times a week as planned, and keep that diet dialed in to reveal even more definition. For your lower body, your quads and hamstrings are shaping up well. The upper glute glute area is showing some improvement, but let's keep pushing for a bit more fullness and lift. Incorporating hip thrusts and glute bridges with progressive overload will help enhance that upper glute shelf. Finally, your overall conditioning is improving steadily. There's still a bit of fat to shed, especially around the midsection and lower body. Training intensity will help you continue to lean out and showcase your muscle definition. Keep up the great work, and let's keep pushing towards that competition-ready physique.
Sounds good. Sounds like a plan, Coach. Thank you.
You're welcome, Lady McCune. Keep crushing it, and we'll check in again soon.
So yeah, I definitely, what was I going to say about that? Oh, ab training. So, a little update on that. I've maybe been doing 1 or 2 sessions a week, and definitely not 3. It's almost on purpose in a way. So ab development, I don't want to develop my abs necessarily. Okay. So if you think about it, any muscle that you develop usually gets bigger, gets more size. If you're what they classically call toning, yes, you can tighten the muscle, but it's mostly about, keeping the muscle full while reducing the body fat in the area. And building my abs is not going to reduce the body fat because you cannot spot reduce body fat. It's all done in the kitchen. Honestly, abs are made in the kitchen. It's all about the nutrition and keeping things tight and leaning down, and then you can see the abs. Obviously, the muscle shape can be altered with training them, but I'm not necessarily trying to build any shape in my abs. I also don't know what they look like while I'm lean because I've never been that lean. So I'm keeping the ab training kind of minimal simply because I don't want any width. I don't want to add any width at all. So I have been doing, I brace my core during compound lifts, so that gives it some challenge. I have been doing planks for a couple of sets a week with my partner because they're training that on their own. I'm just there to support for that. So that's really the most of the ab exercises that I get right now, aside from just the stabilization during my compound lifts, which, I mean, even that is just a decent amount, and a lot of people, that's all they do for ab training. They don't do anything specific. So there's the update for that. I'm just not really doing a whole lot of focus on them. They are getting touched a little, but again, I don't want to build any width because the narrower my waist is, the wider my lats will look, and that's what I want for the goal look of my figure competition. And that's to be said, for any training, you have to train specifically for your goal. And that is my goal. So if I was training for something that needed more core stability, strength, and power, like something more athletic, then yes, I would probably be doing actual ab focused training, but that's not my goal. So that's not where I'm focusing. And I am pretty pleased with my check-in photos. Even though there was no official weight drop this week, I am on my cycle, so not surprised. We'll see what next week looks like. I was a little bit hungrier this time. I noticed it was still minimal, but I definitely noticed more hunger right before this month because we're now a month in, but it was manageable, and just kind of keeping my mindset sort of like eyes on the prize kind of thing. And that's, I know, going to get tougher as the weeks go on here. So just kind of taking each week as its own little, like, okay, it's a little bit more of a challenge and a little bit more of a challenge, and getting mentally in that mode of like, okay, I can accept this. Because that's not a huge change all at once. So that does make it easier to kind of level out in my brain. One thing that I have noticed now, finally, starting to kind of show up, where Alfred mentioned about my shoulders and their capping. I have been doing my side lateral raises kind of in like what I like to call a murder set. So it's a heavy set of whatever my kind of 12 rep-ish max is, and then drop that weight in half and do 30 more reps. I can take breaks in those 30 reps. Like I'm usually doing 10 and then wait 5 seconds, 10, wait 5 seconds, kind of that sort of thing. So getting through those, it's taxing, and I think it's really working. I think drop sets in that way, whether it's with the shoulders or say with the legs, I'm noticing when I do, say, my leg extension, I'm doing drop sets on those as well as the seated leg curls. Usually a triple drop set. I'll just do like either 1 or 2 clicks down on the machine with the weight selector and do another 8 or 10 reps. And those give me an insane muscle pump, and I'm loving it, and I feel like I'm really getting a lot of fiber activation with that kind of technique, with those movements for my body. Everybody's different, you gotta find what works for you, But I do the first set, my heavy rep max between those 10 to 12 reps, and then do a drop, another 8 or 10, a drop, another 6 or 8, or however many I can eke out. So that's been a lot of fun. I'm noticing decent results with that. I've only started that maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago, so time will still tell, because these things do take time. So that's another point to focus on, is that you can't expect to have a summer body in 2 weeks in the gym. I've been going now absolutely consistently 5 days a week since October, and I really started noticing visual changes probably like beginning of February, and they were small. So it does take time and dedication and discipline. But I mean, you can do it, and it's you make it a lifestyle. Like if it's a goal that you want, you find your why and you make it your lifestyle. And I mean, that's just the way that we get our results. We have to be patient. Growth does not happen overnight. The benefit of it taking time is it allows for your mental resilience to build up in accordance with what your body can do. And I mean, your body can do so much more than you think you can. But it allows you to have that time to mentally build up, like, okay, yes, I can do this. Okay, this next week is harder, but I did it. It's looking back now and it's last week, and I completed that one. I can go a little harder this time. And just being a little bit better every time, a little more consistency every time, whether it's, with your food or your training, will get you in forward motion. So just keep at it, guys. You'll get there. I am excited though, because at our next check-in, I will be going to my next DEXA appointment, and I will go and do the in-body scan again to get that total muscle mass pounds like you saw on week 2. And it'll be exciting to review those with you as well. My recovery had been decent this week. I do have a chiro appointment on Monday, so I'm hoping that after the Spartan race that we do tomorrow, that any issues that I might have during that will be fixed, or at least helped by chiro. So those are some recovery things that I do in the meantime. I do get massages on occasion, not as frequently as I would like, because I need to save money, but I do get those when I feel like my body is really in need of it to help my recovery. But yeah, Spartan race tomorrow down on one of the bases here. That's gonna be interesting. Definitely not my first 5K, but my first Spartan race. So fingers crossed everything goes well. We'll see. The weather could be a little dicey, but I'll keep you posted on that update as well for next week's check-in. Also had my posing practice this week, and I will go ahead and share a couple of clips from that here.
Go ahead and show me that front pose. Very nice. Your shoulders look great. Your lats look great. Soften your knees just a little bit. Cool. And then bring those elbows just a little towards me. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah, I saw it.
Nice and big. You see that? Yeah. Show me your left side pose. Okay, so a couple things. This does not look bad, but a couple things to refine in there. It looks like you're mostly standing on your right leg. Would you agree?
Yeah, right then I was, yes.
Okay, so, yep, now you've got your weight a little bit more over both legs. Bring your front leg, your left foot, bring it a little, like a half an inch closer to your heel. And then sit your hips back, like you're gonna sit in a chair. You can actually twist your hips a little bit towards me. Just the hips, see if you can bring your hips around a little bit. And then this left arm is wanting to come up here, so let that relax. Okay, now sit your hips back again. I don't know if you can see that difference when you do that little bit of it. You can feel that your hips have a tilt. Mm-hmm. And it just sets you up for this really nice curvy look, and you still look nice and straight also. Yeah, that's really pretty. Very nice. Okay, let's go into your back pose. So what I would say when you're practicing your back pose is to be tall like that. But when you're right now, because it's uncomfortable, when you're pushing the hips back, you're coming forward. Yeah, so I would rather you be tall, and then eventually we're gonna work on you just being able to do this. Very nice. Your poses look great.
Thank you. It's a testament to your cues, because I haven't done nearly enough practicing. But
imagine when you practice, you look really good.
I know. I keep kicking myself dressing.
I'm glad you're following the cues so easily. You're doing great. Okay, so go ahead and turn to your right. I want you to look at your left foot, where your toes are kind of pointing. They look like they're pointing back towards the back of the room as opposed to sideways. Yeah, just a little bit.
So it's kind of midline straight, so yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So just that little couple of inches right there what makes a difference in where you can move your hips. Okay, so we're kind of back here a little bit. Try to bring it in front of you just a tad. The right arm. Yeah, I just want you to be able to get the biggest lat spread. So if you don't do anything with your arm and you just pull your lat and just let your arm hang, where does it go?
Right here.
Okay, then go ahead and do what you were doing. And then we're gonna push your hips back. Maybe that'll probably fix it. Yeah, yes, there you go. You just fixed your left arm, so it's coming up a little bit. That way we'll get that shoulder. Yes, then your shoulders are more even. Okay, send the hips back. Big lats, both sides. And then a little bit of a turn to your right, sideways. This side's harder for me too.
Which is weird. I'm not sure why exactly, but
It's fine. It's good where it is. We're going to refine it as we get closer.
Coach Michelle's great. I love her posing cues, like the way that she is able to cue, just it clicks in my brain, and you know, you can just do it. And I really appreciate her working with me. It's a lot of fun, and you know, a new thing that, you know, not people just, it's not like a thing like ballet or MMA or, you know, pole fitness where you can just choose to do that. But posing is a workout all on its own, and it's amazing. And it's kind of nice too to get the brain more used to what's called proprioception. So the awareness of your body in space and being able to feel like what your body is doing without looking at it. So we do the posing in front of the mirror. And then I work on it several times, and then I try it without the mirror and take some video just to see in the meantime, in between our sessions, how I'm progressing. But she's pleased with my progress, and I am too so far. I definitely want to get in more sessions daily. I just need to make it a plan and make it a non-negotiable, and that'll be my goal for this coming week. All right, guys, that wraps up this week 5 check-in. We will catch you at the end of it and the start of week 6 for my figure prep. We are approaching a quarter of the way through. It's getting very exciting, but we'll see what kind of results I have for next week for you. But until then, be sure to lift heavy, stay negative, and bloody kisses, my friends. Bye.